but I thought India played extremely poor cricket, especially batting. I think you also agree with me that Ashwin and Jadeja have bailed them out many times. The batting has not done much for a long time.
I will blame this completely on the batting.
Batting has not performed well. The batting has been poor, especially against good spinners. Especially
Remember-
Rohit and Virat have to take ownership before a big series against Australia. Current Indian team, all the batsmen, inclusive of Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Rishabh Pant, Shubman Gill, you take any batsman, they are not good players of spin.
Magnificent catch.
Just look at Badri now, diving into it.
Lovely shot.
Picks it over the offside. That's a good shot.
Back-to-back boundaries. Hello and welcome to Cric It with Badri. It's another episode of Cric Debate. This video is presented to you by DIVO News. We have Pritham with us. Hi Pritham, how are you doing?
Good, Badri, how are you?
Good. Very well. Pritham, you said we can't take New Zealand lightly, but New Zealand have gone one step further. They have played extremely good cricket. To beat a team like India in India in a series, it's not easy. They have done it after a long time. Are you impressed with New Zealand more, or are you more disappointed with India? Tell me that first.
Excellent question, Badri. Excellent question. Credit where credit is due. New Zealand took the opportunities that came their way and they were phenomenal. I think in when we reviewed the first test in Bangalore, I said I would give them 100 out of 100 with the way they capitalized on their opportunities and fought back. Won a fantastic toss here. Bowled impeccable lengths. Catching was top notch, and the best part about New Zealand was they had plans, and I would say Tom Latham out-captained Rohit Sharma in the series so far, hands down. So before we start blaming India, let's give credit where credit is due. New Zealand were absolutely box office.
Yeah, box office. But I'm going to go one step further. Yes, New Zealand played good cricket, but I thought India played extremely poor cricket, especially batting. In the Pune test, Bangalore, I agree, maybe the conditions were against India. One bad decision, probably the toss cost them the match. But Pune test, I was just sitting and watching the batting, Pritham, starting from Virat Kohli to Rohit Sharma to Rishabh Pant to Sarfaraz Khan. Extremely poor choice of shots. It's not that, yes, New Zealand bowlers bowled some good balls, especially Santner bowled well. But I can't agree with Glenn Phillips. Come on, a bowler like Glenn Phillips running through this Indian batting lineup, you can't call yourself good batsman. Then, especially, let's talk about Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, Pritham. Rohit, yes, you mentioned his captaincy has been extremely off color. I don't think he is giving, it's a big statement, yes, but I feel like he's just not there 100%, especially in Test cricket, Rohit Sharma. His captaincy has been under the scanner, and these two matches, he's saying that these things happen, we lost after a long time, but come on, this is not the way to lose in India. And I think you also agree with me that Ashwin and Jadeja have bailed them out many times. The batting has not done much for a long time.
I think you made some 6-7 points. I don't know where to start, but I'll start at the beginning.
No, because I'm this is all coming from the heart. That's why I
absolutely.
talk about that.
I wouldn't say the first test was a toss. Okay, 46, but still they fought back. They were 433 for 4. They collapsed to 462. They scored 150 here. And second innings, again, they were 110 for 1. They scored 240. So 3 out of 4 innings, the batting has failed. Less bowling. I will blame this completely on the batting. Absolute batting collapse. So let me throw this back at you. You made 7-8 points, Badri.
No, before that, why I'm stopping you here is I want your perception on Rohit Sharma. The batsman, Rohit Sharma, the captain, because he has to be under the scanner here because he's not done, great with his captaincy. That's why I'm saying if you dig down deep, you can say that okay, I have not lost a series here or there or whatever. But it's just that, like I said, Ashwin and Jadeja bailed them out. Your batting has not done much. There is not being spoken about. The batting has not performed well. The batting has been poor, especially against good spinners.
Yeah, I was coming to that. You can't come to a press conference and say it is one series loss in 12 years. We have played well. We have batted well. That is why we have been able to maintain our fortress. That is a lie. Because last 5 years, if you look at the stats, from 120 for 6, 130 for 7, people like Ashwin, Jadeja and Akshar Patel have bailed you out so many times. So that is why you have avoided a series defeat for 12 years. Otherwise, you would have lost a series lot before. The top order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 have failed consistently on pitches which offer the slightest bit of turn, even a half, if the ball spins a half a degree, they have struggled. England series, Dravid was very, very smart. He saw the Hyderabad game go. Then he said, I don't have the batsman to play spin. So if you look at test 2, 3, 4, 5, they are proper true pitches where natural wear and tear came on day 5. By then, India had batted. But on pitches where the ball turns half an inch, we are struggling. I'll give you some numbers, Badri. Between Rohit and Kohli, they have played 16 innings this home season, including Bangladesh and New Zealand. Okay? In 16 innings, their combined score, take a guess. 291 runs. Okay, out of that, there is a 70 for a Kohli, there is a 50 for a Rohit Sharma. So if your supposedly top two batsmen in 16 innings aggregate 291 runs, how are you going to succeed?
Yes.
Every time you've asked the lower, order to play, and first time they failed, and you have failed. So please do not blame Ashwin. Please do not blame Jadeja, the batsman. Every time they cannot bail you out, which they have done.
Yeah, no chance. We definitely can't blame Ashwin or Jadeja. In fact, they have bailed India out many times. The batting, especially the top order batting, like you mentioned, the so-called top two on paper have failed miserably. 290 runs, like you said, in 16 innings in Test match cricket is not at all justified. I'm going to tell you a little bit numbers about Virat Kohli as well, Pritham. For all that we talk about him, the last 10 tests, he's just scored 245 runs, averaging 27. Last 3 ODIs, he scored 58 runs, averaging 19. Last 10 T20 internationals, he scored 180 runs, averaging at 18. So his T20 average 18, ODI average 19, Test average 27. Taking it over a period of time is what cricket in 2024. We are already closing in on November. The senior players have to buck up and have to accept it. You can't come and say that, okay, we just failed one match in Test cricket. Somebody has to take ownership here, isn't it? Especially Rohit and Virat have to take ownership before a big series against Australia.
21.49, Badri. That is Virat's average in international cricket in 2024. The lowest it has ever been in his career. Before this, it was in 2008 when he was his first year. He averaged 30 or something. So definitely there is a concern. Now, I want to ask you this. 2 things. You tell me this. Mitchell Santner bowled 396 balls in Sri Lanka. That is about 66 overs approximately, and took 1 wicket. And they played on absolute Bunsen burners in Galle. Ball was turning all over the place. Sri Lankan batsmen, whether it was a Kamindu Mendis or a Kusal Mendis, they tackled him brilliantly. Now, same Mitchell Santner rolls up for 45 overs in Pune, takes 14 wickets. So what is wrong with the Indian batting? You are a guy, you're a Ranji Trophy stalwart. You've scored 10,000 runs. You've played on far worse turners than this. What is going on? Is there a general lack of application, or or do they just want to hit their way out of trouble, which you cannot do against international sides? Please.
Correct. You mentioned it right. See, first of all, let me tell you one thing, that this wicket in Pune, it was not a turner. It assisted spinners. Turner is something very, very different, Pritham. The ball, whatever you bowl, it turns. That's what a turner is. You can't predict the level of bounce and turn. So I don't think this was a turner, firstly. Second thing is that this current Indian team, it's a fact. It's not a myth that they are poor players of spin. That's it. Even in Sri Lanka, I didn't see Santner bowl in Sri Lanka, but this match he bowled well. I saw him bowl. He had very good release. It was landing on the seam. He hit right lines, lengths. He had good fields as well. So Santner bowled well. I'm not taking any credit away from him. The wicket of Santner, they were not unplayable. Definitely not. So what I'm saying is, current Indian team, all the batsmen, inclusive of Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, or maybe even Rishabh Pant, Shubman Gill, you take any batsman, they are not good players of spin. If you put Ashwin and Jadeja in the opponent side, Indian batsmen won't even get the number of runs New Zealand is getting. This is the fact. You have to accept it. They have been poor players of spin for quite a while. I don't know whether it's the mindset. Like you mentioned, every other ball they want to step out and hit for 6. They want to slog sweep it for 6, which is impossible. 10 balls, 10 sixes, you cannot hit. 1 ball or 2 balls is the maximum you can attack. But when you attack, you need to make it count. Other balls, you have to counter it in different ways, or defense. You have to mix offense and defense that these batsmen don't have.
I think if you look at it, the way Jaiswal played at that time, Santner seemed very, very ineffective. He took apart Santner and Ijaz Patel. He literally took them apart at 110 for 1. It was a matter of a wicket. We knew that. But the way Jaiswal approached his innings showed confidence, because it was the right method of attack and defense. My biggest concern is they don't have decent defense, forget good defense. They don't have decent defense against spin. I'm telling you, without exaggeration, if you bring back VVS Lakshman at this age, or a Tendulkar at this age, or even a Viru at this age, they will take apart Glenn Phillips and Mitchell Santner.
I'm telling you, Pratham, if Virender Sehwag was to play this test match, Glenn Phillips will be smashed. I'm telling you, he won't even let Glenn Phillips raise his arm up. That's the mindset they were in. Even the previous era, I'll go an era further, even Navjot Singh Sidhu or Mohammad Azharuddin, they would have all torn Glenn Phillips apart. Santner, I agree, at least he bowled pretty well. But I think that is what the scenario is. I don't know whether they are just playing on throwdowns, straight ball coming, they're just sitting through the line. I don't know what they are practicing. Little bit of deviation off the wicket, they are not able to counter.
Let me ask you this question, Badri. Sorry to interrupt. Let me ask you this. Correct. I heard on air also commentators mention everybody plays the sidearm, which is great for pace and bounce. But then the question is, should people like Kohli and Rohit Sharma, now that they've retired from T20s, but if they want to continue playing tests for India, shouldn't they be playing domestic cricket wherein they'll see different pitches, different spinners? You just cannot rock up for a test series after being in London or Mumbai or wherever you are and then decide I'm going to play. You're playing for the country. You need to have some pride and you need to have some accountability. What hurt me the most was there were spectators in Pune sitting without water and sitting in the sun. You're coming and said, I lost one series in 12 years. What is the big deal? That attitude really pissed me off. That is not acceptable when you're playing for your country.
Yeah. I don't.
And I'm a big Rohit Sharma fan. Trust me. He was off the ball with his batting, with his captaincy. Ditto for Virat Kohli. I think if this is the way they're going to approach the Australian series, don't be surprised if we lose 4-0. One test may be saved because of the weather.
Yeah, I think you made some really good points here. But then there were some positives also. Let's talk about the positives from this test match. Washington Sundar was a big positive. Surprised us, with the selection, Washington Sundar. But he bowled really well, 7 wickets. It's great for Washi, isn't it? He's been a great kid. He's been around. He mentioned that he has worked with Sridhar and Sriram, especially on his run-up. It's something that he's worked on and it's made a world of difference. He bowled well. So good for Washington Sundar.
And Washi, I've always been a great believer in Washington's batting ability. I thought he had all the tools to play test cricket in the top 6 or top 7. Absolutely no doubt about that. His bowling is coming up. That is a bonus. Because Washi unfortunately has been injury prone. I hope he stays fit because I see him play a very, very important role in Australia because he's got the technique. He's got the ability to play pace and bounce. He showed us that on his debut in Gabba 4 years ago. Washi will be a very, very key figure. But the rest of the bowling and batting, we'll talk about that later, is a worry. But huge positive, Washi. And another positive, Badri, I thought was Jaiswal. In that first test, even though India were bundled out for 46, he played 17 overs, let the balls go, displayed immense patience. Same thing he did in Bangladesh, in Chennai, when the ball was seaming and bouncing. Even here, he adopted a different methodology. He said, if I just try to defend, I'm going to get out. One ball will have my name on it. He gave the start. He scored 80. What more can he do? He played an absolute blinder. So I think Jaiswal is showing tremendous maturity, changing his game from series to series. I really look forward to see how he will go because I think him and Washi and Pant and maybe Gill are going to be the next generation of Indian batters. So huge positives for India, these two guys.
Yeah, definitely. I think huge positive Yashasvi Jaiswal. I'm also very impressed with him. He's showing a lot of maturity for his age and he's cutting across formats with ease. He's becoming an all-format batsman. I always have a special liking for all-format batsman. He seems to fit the bill.
Let me put you on the spot, Badri. Is father time ringing loudly for Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, and to a very, very lesser extent, Jadeja and Ashwin? Because on home pitches, I think they will still do well. But are the Bills, is father time calling Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli? Because how long can you put up with this kind of low scores?
See, I wouldn't pull up Ashwin and Jadeja for sure, Pratham, because I still think they are the rocks and they are very, very crucial going ahead for Test cricket. Whether it might be subcontinent conditions or it might be even outside, because still you're going to play 50% of your matches in India and you need to win those matches. Ashwin and Jadeja are the key bowlers. If you ask me as an opponent batsman, I would don't want to face Ashwin. I would be happy if Ashwin and Jadeja don't play. I'm thinking from a batsman perspective. Any other spinner you give me, Axar Patel or any other bowler. So Jadeja, Ashwin and Bumrah, these are especially for their bowling, they are going to be very, very crucial. I wouldn't touch them. Rohit and Virat, yes, I think they are slowly, in Test cricket, this year has not been good. I hope it changes in Australia, but if it doesn't, probably somebody might have to pull them up. I think it's going to be Gautam Gambhir. Let's wait and watch. I hope, because Gautam has to do his job, right? As an Indian team coach, you need to pull your weight and do your job. So Australia series, Pritham, will be a huge benchmark. If India lose badly in Australia, there might be some big decisions. Let's wait and watch.
I'll take it one step further, Badri, because I think the WTC is out of the equation now, because you got to win in Mumbai and then 3 tests in Australia. I don't think we have the bowling, especially without Shami, to win 3 tests in Australia. We may win 1 if we are lucky, but I think if the Australia series doesn't go well for the batting unit, there is a next big series after that in July in England, 5 tests. I think it's time for a new test captain and replacing at least 2 to 3 batsmen. It is a massive reboot that will happen. I can guarantee you that.
Coming from a Rohit Sharma fan, it has to be authentic. Pritham, calling for change in captaincy in the test arena.
I was very disappointed with his captaincy the first 2 tests. Absolutely disappointed. He let the game drift. Bangalore, New Zealand, 230 for 7. You let them score 400. Here, you give up a 100-run lead. Your only chance is you get them out for 130, 140 and chase down 240. What happens? You allow them to score 200 in 45 overs. There is no close-in catches. Easy singles on offer from ball 1 on day 1. Extremely disappointing captaincy. He was just not switched on.
Big words coming from Pritham, being a Rohit Sharma fan. But let's see what happens. Third test is still there. We will definitely do a preview for the third test. Thank you, Pritham, for coming on Cric It with Badri and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you, Badri, for having me.
Thank you, Pritham. This video was presented to you by DIVO News. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe and press the bell icon as well. Whenever we post a video, you will get a notification. Thank you guys. See you soon.